Afternoon, everyone. I'm Sabrina Dhami with your 13 Now update, joined by my colleagues Tessa Bentulan, Stella Porter, Chief Meteorologist Paul Caiano. It is a first warning alert day, and we are covering storm damage, some pretty severe damage, and also some major flooding concerns. Stella Porter is in Bennington. We're going to talk with her in just a moment. Tessa Bentulan, south of us, in an area hit really hard in Orange County, and of course, Paul Caiano taking a look at all of the weather-related issues that might be heading our way and what still may be to come. So we'll speak with Stella and Paul in just a moment, but let's start with Tessa Bentulan in Cornwall, which is about 100 miles south of Albany and one of the hardest hit areas. Governor Hochul was there earlier this afternoon. Tessa, unfortunately, a woman died in the flooding there. What are you seeing where you are?
Hi, Sabrina. So yeah, we're in the Cornwall area on Route 218 right now. We were driving around here for about 15-20 minutes trying to actually get to Highland Falls, where Governor Hochul was during that press conference earlier. And wherever you go, it's a road closure after another road closure after another road closure. It usually takes about 15 minutes to get there from Cornwall, but we tried with the GPS, and with all the detours we have to take, it takes 45 minutes to get there from this point. It just shows you how much damage has been done. Yeah. And so we got to this point right now. And so this is Route 218, the road closed here because of the storms. You see some people coming down right now. There's been a lot of people who are just kind of assessing the damage, parking their car down the road, walking all the way up there, seeing what they can find. And if you go 2 miles up the road, let's take a look at that video that we got that you see, and the road is just gone. Wait 2 seconds, and there it is. I mean, it's your jaw drops. When I first saw this, I said, oh my goodness, this is terrible damage. We talked to this guy that's been living here for 44 years, and he said he's never seen anything like this. He says he watches the news, he reads articles, he's been paying attention to the weather forecasts, and he said that this is something you see on TV. This is not something that you really see in your neighborhood. And so his wife actually works up in this area. She has to go up this road to get to work. When a code red was issued yesterday, she had to come down this road for work. And even right over here, I want to show you as well, down on the road here on the sides, you see all this water that's coming down. Well, this is not just regular water. This is all that rainwater from yesterday that's still kind of happening. It just shows what was left over, and you've got all these tree branches that are kind of lining the sides of the roads here, and this is just all over this place. And that's kind of the basis of what we've seen. And there's a bunch of people in the city center who are just kind of having coffee because they don't know what else to do. They're just kind of riding out this storm, all kind of getting together, talking to each other about what they've seen. And this is just the beginning of it all. I mean, we'll have much more later on in our shows at Live at 4. You'll hear from one of the men that we spoke to who says his wife works up here, and that it's just something that he said, this just shows you how terrifying Mother Nature can be.
Incredible damage. Again, Tessa Bentulan in Orange County, about 100 miles south of Albany, where Governor Hochul has declared a state of emergency due to the damage from the storm. Tessa, thank you so much. Incredible video you sent us. We will speak with you starting live at 4 with much more from there.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Let's go to my colleague now, Stella Porter. She is in the Bennington, Vermont area where a state of emergency has been issued there as well, Stella. And you spoke with the Bennington police chief about the concerns still to come from all of the rain they got there.
Yeah, Sabrina, this is the Walloomsac River behind me. We're just like a 5-minute drive from Bennington College, and this area is notorious because this is an area that was hit really hard with flooding after Tropical Storm Irene. So all of the neighbors here have been telling me they're on high alert. They're wondering what the aftermath of the storm could bring because certain parts of Vermont have been hit pretty hard north and east of here. And so the thought is when that water then trickles down to this area, it could end up flooding rivers like this one, the Walloomsac, which already is rushing really fast. The current is just so strong there. It's really loud. You can hear it from even the main road here. So we have been here all morning just watching people come up to the river who live nearby to just look at, you know, how high it's looking. We can see the water kind of rising as the day goes on, and it's almost like a wait and see situation for Bennington right now.
There's some videos, Stella, from Vermont State Police, not directly where you are, but I'll put it up because it is kind of highlights the concerns of what may be to come in the Bennington area as the water is just rushing. And this is all that runoff that you were referring to, that the concern of what that might do.
Yeah, and the governor here has issued a state of emergency just to have that in place because it's clear that we don't know whether we're going to see devastation like that in this area just yet. But the chief of police says overnight tonight into tomorrow is when we will find out just how extensive that damage could be.
Stella Porter bringing us an update from Bennington, Vermont, where they're standing by for the chance of some possible flooding concerns there. Stella, thank you very much for the update. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Paul Caiano right now. Paul, you've had tabs on all of this as our crews were deciding, what directions to go to today, and we're seeing exactly the aftermath and what may be to come still from where they are.
Yeah, it's not over yet. We do have plenty of rain to come in a large part of the area. Some will not cause flooding, and other areas where the ground is saturated, we're going to have other issues, as Stella was talking about in her location in southern Vermont. So, of course, this is a News Channel 13 First Warning Alert Day. We are watching out for more heavy rain, so impactful weather for the rest of the day and into tonight. Flash flooding is already occurring, so more of that is likely. And not only that, with the upper level portion of this system still rolling over us, we may see a couple of stronger thunderstorms, which could present their own problems with wind gusts. I don't think this is going to be a huge deal, but a couple of them are possible. And I think more so than the wind, the torrential downpours that accompany some of these storms could exacerbate the already saturated grounds, and flooding concerns will only increase in other places. So here's the first warning live Doppler radar. Look off into Vermont. You see where the red boxes are under the radar on the right side of the screen? The whole state virtually is under a flood warning, still raining steadily and heavily in portions of Vermont. All that rain is running off into streams, creeks, and rivers. You got the washouts, high water. Most of the streams, creeks, and rivers in Vermont will go over flood stage, some a little bit more than others. I think where Stella is, we'll get above flood stage by a little bit tonight. But if we get a lot of heavy rain, that can change quickly. So that's why we're staying on top of this. Then out to the west toward Cobleskill, there's a round of showers and thunderstorms, some of them with some wind gusts, not severe weather, but heavy downpours. This is the upper level portion of the storm. And as this rides right over top of us, I think more of us will have a chance of some steadier and heavier rain going into the late afternoon and evening hours. So yeah, Vermont is under the flood warning. The rest of us are still under a flood watch. Look at the rain in just the last 24 hours. Vermont inundated, Berkshire County, tons of rain, a couple of bullseyes out toward Mechanicville and Scaticoke and Eagle Bridge. So high water out in northern Rensselaer County, where a lot of places picked up between 2 and 5 inches of rain. A lot of that coming yesterday. Lighter rain now in those locations, but more to come as that upper level disturbance rotates over us. I think the greater capital district will avoid severe flooding here. But I do think the fringes of our area out into Vermont, the upper Hudson Valley and North Country, and certainly we saw Tessa down to our south, will still see some catastrophic flooding go on as we get into the latter portion of the day and overnight tonight. Finally, this thing rotates through and then out of here as we get into the day on Tuesday. We turn hot and humid once again for the middle of the week. And oh yeah, there's some additional showers and thunderstorms later on in the week, which can't be good news either, especially if you're in one of those areas that are already saturated. So 77 with scattered showers and storms this afternoon. More tonight, down to 64 and muggy. 86 on Tuesday, 88 Wednesday. You see, there's really little relief here in terms of a whole day without rain and thunderstorms. We'll have some large windows of time where it's dry, but this weather pattern has been relentless, and it looks like we'll have at least a chance of showers and thunderstorms right on into the weekend, Sabrina.
Really highlights the reason for paying attention to the forecast, the updated forecast as it comes in, because things are changing, as with each new model coming in.
Yeah, and as we track that radar, you get some of these bubbling areas of convection or heavier rain, and that changes the whole outlook. Places that look like, oh, we're just going to get some high water are now seeing rivers overflow their banks. So these things, they shift up and they shift down. and staying on top of it and keep checking back. And we'll have the latest right through the afternoon if conditions warrant, but certainly tonight starting at 4.
All right, Paul, thank you very much. We'll talk with you, of course, with the latest forecast starting live at 4. Want to leave you with a piece of video. This is again from Highland Falls in Orange County, about 100 miles south of Albany, but it really highlights what they're dealing with right in their backyards. Take a look at this. It's a waterfall in someone's backyard in Highland Falls. Again, this is where Governor Kathy Hochul toured the area today. A state of emergency has been declared there, and sadly, a woman died in the flooding, swept away. A 35-year-old woman swept away in floodwaters there. So again, it is an alert day. We'll have the very latest on the forecast, the storm damage that is in some spots, and what may still come our way with the rain in the forecast, as you heard Paul say. Want to also mention that Amtrak trains, you may have heard about this already, but I want to reinforce that they are canceled from Albany heading south to New York City. All trains right now, Metro North, dealing with a lot of issues on the tracks. So there is no timeline for when trains are expected to resume, but we will, of course, keep an eye on that. And I have been checking on power outages. There are dozens of power outages still in our area, Rensselaer County, Schenectady County, Albany County. So we'll keep an eye on that for you as well. That's your 13 Now update on this alert day on this Monday afternoon. I'm Sabrina Dhami, the very latest starting live at 4.